Sitting upright brought the world back into focus. I couldn't quite feel my beak or the left side of my face as I looked down the rusted, crumbling hallway as a bug-like creature tried to flee. As everything came back into focus, I crawled to my feet and chased after him. This little shit got lucky with that sucker punch. The Emerald Bugman spun around. His four eyes widened in shock as he saw just how well I could keep up with him despite his much longer legs. He whipped out a small black handgun as he made it towards the window. Dumbass should have led with that. I jumped and tackled him. I should have thought this through. We both tumbled out of the window and into the unpaved streets below. I felt that everywhere. The mantoid shrieked in its native language. To me, it sounded like garbled gibberish with a few grating clicks. As I rolled over on my back, he hopped up on his long, stilt-like legs and raised his scythe-like claws. I rolled and felt his blades chop a bit of my dark red hair. Despite my bruised ribs, I was on my feet and drew my sidearm. Fucking mantoids. He knocked my gun away, and before I knew it, I was taking a kick to the chest that knocked me into a pile of muddy water. I couldn't breathe. I am a penguin, and if you expect me to start tap dancing on ice, well, sorry to disappoint, not sorry. My dark red hair covered the right side of my face and eye as usual. Just as well, it was bruised up, but not as bad as this fucking guy was going to be once I got my flippers on him. I glared at him with my crimson eyes as my lungs remembered how to function. The cold mud soaked into my black shirt and caked my long red jacket. I shook it off and stood up. The mantoid was already down the street knocking random aliens out of the way. I hauled ass after him, but the moronic bystanders, who always seem to get in the damn way whenever I'm trying to chase someone or something, slowed me down. One of them dared to get pissed because I knocked over his shitty caffeinated drink with a name I will not attempt to pronounce. "Asshole!" he shouted. I came around the corner. I was closing in on the bug. He turned around and screeched at me. Maybe I should have updated the translator implant for this one. Whatever, my job was to capture him and drag his ass to the spot, not interrogate. He crossed the street between hovering cars but had to stop halfway through as a car came past. That gave me the time I needed to football tackle him. We hit the ground hard and I chopped at his face. Fun fact about my kind, we have bones in our flippers and getting struck by them hurts like hell. Soon, I saw purple blood and the broken shards of his green exoskeleton. As I kept striking him, he brought two of his legs up and I took another kick to the chest. I crashed in the middle of the street and everything spun. I'm just glad there wasn't traffic. Think I pissed him off now. He was on me before I could get up and swung his blades like an angry, living weed whacker. I scurried out of his reach as he kept advancing towards me. His attacks pushed us towards the bar's entrance. I wish I had my sidearm. Instead, I did something stupid and risky. I rolled through his slashes. He sliced the tails of my coat. Better that than my actual short tail. After rolling, I kicked off the ground and aimed for his face. Once again, fucking mantoids. His arm caught me in the gut, sending me through the glass window and into a bar. Pain exploded through the back of my skull as I struck the edge of the bar back, and someone's goddamn beer spilled on me. If I wasn't mad before, I was now. The mantoid jumped into the room and barreled towards me on his four legs. I looked up at the unopened liquor bottle on the wooden bar and grabbed it. The three little claws on the inside of the flipper gripped the wide neck. I struck the green bug with the heavy, box-shaped part of the bottle as he tried to behead me. I heard something crack as I struck him. He almost fell flat on his face. He attempted to sit up, disoriented by that. I swung the bottle like a baseball bat against his head, knocking out a few needle-like teeth. Now, he hit the ground. I doubt he knew where he was anymore. Could have stopped at this point, but he made a fatal mistake. He pissed me off. I tested how sturdy that handle of booze was by using his body. The bar patrons glared at the two of us. They were taken aback. Others seemed curious. I pummeled him until he was barely conscious and couldn't move. He was lucky I needed his ass alive. I unscrewed the cap to the booze, threw my head back, and opened my beak. If they considered this shit good, I'd hate to see what's bad.